Lesson 1.6, the composition of functions. Most of us, when we were kids, had a calculator, and if you were fortunate, you had one with sines and cosines and perhaps some other functions. And it was sometimes a game where you type a number into the calculator and you'd punch the sine function, and then you'd continue to punch the sine function to see what happened. Did it repeatedly feeding the result back into the same function? Well, that was a composition of a function. Okay, you kept feeding the result of one function into another. All right, and let's formalize that a little bit. We're going to consider two functions. F of x equals 3x plus 1, and g of x is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 6. Okay, the composition of two functions, the composition of f and g, or g into f, and we're going to evaluate that at minus 2. Okay, so we're going to evaluate g at minus 2 and feed that result into f of x. Or we can handle it a little algebraically, a little differently. But we're going to handle the first one. We're going to handle it the first way by evaluating g of x at x equals minus 2, and then feeding that result into f of x. G of x at minus 2, so you notice how the x is now replaced with a minus 2, is equal to minus 2 squared, minus 2 times minus 2, minus 6. The minus 2 squared becomes 4, minus 2 times minus 2, well, that's minus 2 squared again, is 4, minus 6. Okay, so 8 minus 6 is 2. So g of minus 2 is equal to 2. So the composition of f and g, okay, so f of x, where x is where we fed the result of g of minus 2 in, is simply f of x evaluated at x equals minus 2, or f of 2. So f of x is 3x plus 1, so f of 2 is 3 times 2 plus 1, 6 plus 1, or 7. Now, if we're going to do that's a fairly simple, straightforward way of doing it. All right, but now we're going to handle this a little algebraically, and we're going to see if we come out with the same result. Okay, we can also evaluate this f of x, the composition f and g, at minus 2 prior to evaluating any particular value of x. Now, this is particularly useful if you're looking for how to make a new function, out of composing two other functions. All right, so the composition of f and g is 3x plus 1 with x equal to the function g of x. We're going to actually, wherever we see x, we're going to replace it with the algebraic expression of the right-hand side of g of x. Okay, so the composition of f and g, f of x and g of x, is equal to 3 times, and there it is, the function g of x, x squared minus 2x minus 6 plus 1. Okay, let's go ahead and distribute that 3 out into all the terms inside the parentheses. So 3x squared minus 3 times 2x minus 3 times 6, and then of course 1 was outside the parentheses, so that's left alone. Okay, let's evaluate that. So 3x squared minus 3 times 2x is minus 6x. 3 times, or minus 3 times 6 is minus 18 plus 1. Of course, we can evaluate the minus 18 into 1. That's minus 17. So f of the composition of f and x and g of x is 3x squared minus 6x minus 17. And yes, that does look like a new function. So let's go ahead and evaluate this at x equals minus 2, and we'll see if we get the same result. So every place where we see x, we're going to replace it with minus 2. So 3 times minus 2 squared minus 6x, which is minus 2, minus 17. Wow. Minus 2 squared is 4. So 3 times 4 is going to be 12. minus 6 times minus 2, and two negatives make a positive, so this is positive 12. 6 times 2 is 12, and then we have the minus 17. So plus 12 minus 17 is going to be a minus 5. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 5, and the result is 7. Just as we expected before. Here's the previous result. F of 2 at 7. Okay. I hope that helped you with composition of functions. It's just a way of taking two functions and combining them in a way to make a third function. Okay. Hope you have that helped you with your discussion question problems. Okay. Bye.